The ANC Youth League has taken its fight for jobs and economic inclusion to the doorstep of business. ANC Youth League members are marching to the JSE in Sandton to highlight issues of economic justice and youth empowerment. The League is expected to present a memorandum to government and the private sector stakeholders with actionable demands to address its concerns. Well, for more on this story, we cross to SABC News reporter Nosipho, who is going to be watching the proceedings for us. She's in Sandton, and I understand our other colleague, Natasha Piri, is actually in Braamfontein, and she's going to be watching the beginning of that march. Nosipho, a very good afternoon to you. So they're going to the JSE to protest about the lack of inclusion in the economy. Tell us more.
That's right, Nompu, greetings to you as well as to the viewers at home. We're expecting those ANC Youth League marches to make their way, as you mentioned, from Braamfontein with our colleague Natasha Piri, heading here to the Johannesburg Stock Exchange in Sandton. We also know that they'll be joined by the union, the NUM, which is also concerned about the issues raised by the ANC Youth League, those issues including equal opportunities as well as transformation in terms of the economy. So they are expected to hand over a memorandum of demands to executives here at the JSE. I'm going to ask my colleague just to pan the camera, but you'll see that they are setting up. There's buses here from the NUM, and that's possibly where they'll be addressing those marches later when they hand over that memorandum of demands. But really what they're calling for, inclusive economic opportunities for young people especially. We know the high unemployment rate in South Africa affects young people disproportionately. And they're also, highlighting the issue of the two-part system, which they say the savings component, which people can withdraw from, is not enough to help workers deal with the burden of this tough economic situation in South Africa. We know interest rates were at an all-time high earlier this year. They've come down by 25 basis points now in September, but still inflation, even though it's also coming down. We know that the food basket is still expensive for poor households, and they're struggling to put enough food on the table. And they're saying that, with the two-part system, they need more money, workers need more access to their money, their savings portion, and they're also concerned about the tax implication because that lessens obviously the money that workers have access to, and they want this addressed at NADLAC. But also, they're also calling for, they also say, the government of national unity needs to have a national commitment towards these issues. That's what they want to see, this sort of coming together of the government of national unity, being on one page when it comes to these issues affecting young people. And so we'll be here, Nompu, monitoring this march. We're expecting, obviously, those Youth League marches as well as the NUM to be here any moment this afternoon. And we'll obviously continue to give you coverage and hear from them also about the grievances that they've raised in terms of the tough economic conditions in South Africa, which have led to retrenchments, we know, in some companies. We've seen Seriti, there was a march there over the retrenchments at that company, over 1,000. We know that Sakau was in talks, that union was in talks with Pick n Pay over retrenchments at that company. So really just a dire situation as we see that over 11 million people are in need of jobs, but companies retrenching in this time so that they can be able to make profit. But obviously we'll hear from the leaders of the ANC Youth League, the leaders of the NUM Youth League. They'll talk to us more about the issues that they've raised.
Yeah, Nosipho, don't go away.
Back to you there in studio, Nompu.
Nosipho, don't go away. On the screen, as you can see,
yes.
I'm just speaking to the viewers, we are in Braamfontein there, and of course that proceeding is now beginning, that procession now beginning to head to the JSE from Braamfontein, the ANC Youth League. And I just wanted to bring you back in, Nosipho. So we know that, of course, the Johannesburg Stock Exchange is almost like a bastion for capital. That's where stocks and bonds are traded. But any particular reason that you've heard why the march is going to end up there? I mean, what sort of action would the marchers hope that the JSE would be able to take, or is it simply symbolic?
For now, I think we'll probably get some clarity from them, but it appears to be symbolic because, as we know, that this is not the first march. This is about the second in as many weeks that's going to be handing over a memorandum to the JSE. We saw COSATU marching here. They handed a memorandum of demands to executives here. The SAB was here to take that memorandum from them. There were also members of Discovery there. They were taking that memorandum from them. So it's really just, for now, I could say it's really just symbolic in terms of handing over this memorandum to business, because we know business sort of creates employment, and they will be able to sort of drive the economic policies in South Africa. And we know that handing over that memorandum here is just a call then to business to partner up with government and ensure that young people are included in this economy, because we know that young people make up quite a large number of this population here in South Africa. So we'll get some clarity from the ANC Youth League as well as the NUM Youth League over the symbolism of coming to the JSE here today. Back to you.
Thank you so much,
Nosipho.
Radebe. Do stay on the line for us. In the meantime, I'm going to cross now to Natasha Piri. She's on the line for us. She's covering the march that's taking place from Braamfontein by the ANC Youth League. Natasha, a very good afternoon to you. Have you had any conversations with members of the procession now as to why they're doing this march and why specifically the JSE?
Well, definitely, I mean, I beg your pardon. So we've been here at the Bears Nodia Square since 7 a.m. And of course, young people that are taking part in this march, just saying enough is enough. I mean, as young people of the country, they're excluded from the economy. They're the ones that are downtrodden, I beg your pardon, and of course, I mean, you can see the young people here coming from the Nelson Mandela Place, actually making their way onto the ANCYL. And, just a lot of young people coming out saying that this is a plight that they've been fighting for, not only now, but you must remember that in 2011, they had a march of this magnitude, fighting for economic freedom, saying that there needs to be more jobs, more employment for young people. And of course, 13 years down the line, the plight is still the same, if not even worse. You would know, Dr. Like, unemployment amongst young people from the ages of 13 to 35 currently sits at over 40%. So these young people are saying that it cannot be business as usual. They're hoping that when they actually deliver their memorandum, to the private sector, to the executives at the JSE and the various government officials, that their cries won't fall on, deaf ears. Of course, it's speaking to various young people from all over the country. I spoke to some young people earlier on from the likes of Alexandra, from the likes of the Northern Cape, the Free State, saying that for them, this is a crucial march, a fundamental march, and they hope that, pending this march or after this march, they will actually see the fruition or the outcome of what they're actually marching, for. It's quite interesting just engaging young people, and asking them, will they actually make this, to Saint? I mean, the road from there to Saint is quite a long stretch, but it seems as if they are eager, they're quite determined. While we actually see on the visuals, let's just talk to some young people.
Natasha, I wanted to ask you, just in terms of that route that they're following, presumably the authorities are there, the police are making sure that everybody moves safely from Braamfontein to Sandton. How many roads are closed? Any specific roads that are closed as a result?
Well, definitely, Nomfu. We have JSE officials as well as the police ensuring that they actually divert traffic on their various routes. But it's quite interesting that later on when we spoke to the ANC Youth League Secretary General, Mr. Gude, he had indicated that they won't be taking the highway for motorists, on the MY to actually this control. They actually will be taking, the back route. They will be proceeding from right past I beg your pardon, past Bamford onto Johannesburg, and from there they then but no person just permit me please, if I could just speak to some of the young people that I can, just to hear their views, ask where they're from, the
All right, Natasha, I'm going to intervene there. Your line is getting rather bad because it's interspersing with the noise actually coming from the procession that's taking place. These are visuals of ANC Youth League members. Maybe they're not even members, but young people who are protesting at the lack of opportunities in the South African economy. They're headed to the JSE. Certain roads are closed off as a result so that they're able to traverse safely to the JSE where they're going to hand over their memorandum of demands to a government official and a private sector official. We also have Nosipho Radebe, who's standing by for us in Sandton. She is going to be waiting for people to arrive there. Nosipho, I hope you can hear me. Just tell us who is going to receive these marchers when they get there.
I know. So the noise levels from the last time we crossed to you have increased. But from what I understand, from what I could hear, from what you were saying is who's expected to be receiving that memorandum. Well, we are hoping to see who that will be. But as you can hear, the noise levels increasing here, the music sort of playing out here as they prepare for the arrival of those marchers there coming from Braamfontein. But we'll continue standing out here monitoring, and when we see any officials, obviously then they'll be here to receive that memorandum from those marchers later today. But as I said, or as you said rather, we'll continue monitoring that situation, and hopefully the noise levels will die down or possibly increase, but we'll make a plan around those noise levels there. Back to you in studio.
Thanks very much, Nosipho. Well, it is a youthful event, even though it's quite a serious one, and they've just started, of course, that march in Braamfontein. No doubt they will take a little bit of time. Natasha, I understand that you're still with us, and hopefully your sound is a little bit better. So where are you? What is your vantage point, and what are you seeing where you are?
Well, definitely, Nompo, and apologies for earlier on. What you can see is thousands of Youth League members just passing the Nelson Mandela Bridge and, of course, making their way to Jan Smuts Road. If you'll just permit me, Nompo, to probably speak to some young people that have actually come out in their numbers, you would understand that the excitement here, is a lot, understandably so. But let's just try speak to some young people. Okay. Can we speak to you, sir? Can we speak to you? Where are you from, and what are you hoping to achieve through this march? Where are you from? What are you hoping to? Well, Nompo, I guess he's too shy. How are you?
I'm good.
Where are you from?
I'm from Zimkhulu, Horikwala.
Okay. So you came all the way from KZN, Uzalana, to participate in this march. What do you think the outcomes should be?
I think they will attain what we want.
And what do you want as Mtomushu?
I want the jobs. Yeah.
So what manje awusebenzi?
Sibaningi sifundile, akekho umuntu osebenzayo ukuthulekile. Kumele baphendule. Sivotile futhi kumele kuphendule. Yabo? Kumele siwathola ama results. Because sithathe isikhathi sethu seza la kwimarch. Yabo masuka emzimkhulu udlula ama toll gate amangaphi uzala. So kumele basiphendule.
But do you agree with the sentiments that were raised by your colleagues?
Yes, I do agree with the sentiments. In fact, I believe that youth should be included in all corridors of power. In fact, as young people, we must be part of the decision making. As it was reflected in the last elections that young people generally voted and many young people voted. So our voice should be heard. This is a way of making sure that we become part of all the decision-making processes within our country. We deal with issues that are a disadvantage to the youth, which include things like unemployment, etc.
For yourself and for your part as an ANC Youth League member, do you think that the ANC Youth League has been at the forefront of, championing the transformation agenda?
We would not say that they've been doing perfect, but with efforts like such a march, we would say that they are on the best of the right track up to so far.
What needs to be done?
Sorry?
What more needs to be done?
We would want to see much more action in terms of ensuring that we enforce these ideas of ours. Even if these people want to sideline us, we must go there by fire and force and ensure that really it happens, whatever we wish for.
But do you not think that the onus is also upon ANC deployees that are in government to ensure that they actually push the policies that the ANC Youth League have been calling for?
Yes, it is the job of the ANC Youth League to actually conscientize these people. Many of them, unfortunately, it's not even our say to say who gets into government and who does not. But many of these people are there and they are already part of the decision making. So since they are already part, our job now is to ensure that at least we try and conscientize these people.
Thank you so much, Nompu. Of course, various views from young people here, some from as far as KZN, some as far as the Free States, Mpumalanga, Eastern Cape as well. Young people are actually coming out in their numbers. Nompu, the march is actually proceeding and we're actually left behind. So can I just ask for permission that we actually catch up with them, and of course we'll give you the further updates along the way as we make our way to the JSE.
Thanks very much, Natasha. We release you. We are going to go for a quick break. Natasha Piri there reporting on that procession that's heading to the JSE. We'll have more for you after a short break.